Okie dokie. It's about 11:30 on the West Coast, and it is Tuesday. My name's Mitch Jackson. My firm's Jackson Wilson. I thought what might be interesting is to share with you guys what I do each and every day as a trial lawyer with COVID-19 social distancing, social separation. So that's what I want to do. While those of you are coming in, if you have comments, if you have questions, hey, Patricia, it's good to see you. I want you to jump in and everyone say hi to Patricia and follow her on social media and ask your questions. But check out, like, this is a typical day, and I just want to share it with you. So first of all, starting at about 6 my time, I was on a couple of Zoom meetings with the East Coast. We're West Coast, they're 3 hours ahead. And the meetings had to do with setting up some companies, had to do with some representation of personal injury cases. This is Lisa, by the way, you guys, my wife, my partner from day one, and the smartest lawyer in the law firm. But this is our law firm website. And the reason I'm showing you this is we have a fairly robust website with everything you need to know for catastrophic injury and wrongful death victims, along with awards and testimonials and recommendations and all that kind of fun stuff. But the reason I'm showing you this is because, and let me come back here, hang on. The first thing after our Zoom meetings this morning is we rolled over. Hey, Aretha, it's good to see you. I'm going to go ahead and just share everyone. How you doing? It's good to see you. And share what we've already done today and what we're going to be doing the rest of the day. Okay, so I shared my website with you, our law firm. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because we have a hearing on Friday. And let me bring this up. Let me find the Orange County Superior Court. So we have a hearing on Friday, but unfortunately, and let me bring this up. And I think you can all see that. The Orange County Superior Court is our local Superior Court here in Santa Ana, California. This is where our hearing is on Friday. Obviously, for most civil matters, the courts are closed. This is their COVID-19 update page. And what they're telling us is that most of the cases, and let me go back to the homepage so you can see what the homepage looks like of our Superior Court. For those of you that have court matters and proceedings, go ahead and check your website. They'll be posting updates across the country. Each state's different. Each county's different. Here in Orange County, in red, the Orange County Superior Court will remain closed to the public through May 22nd. Well, I have a hearing on Friday, and my hearing on Friday probably isn't going to happen. So what I'll be doing is logging on, checking the case calendar, have my front office, and we're all working from home right now, log on and check what the status of the case is. Do we need to file anything? Do we need to update the court? The case on Friday is relative to a distracted driving double fatality case where 2 people were killed and 2 people in the car were severely injured. The person who caused the accident, in fact, let me show you. Let me go ahead and show you a blog post we did on this. Hang on a second. The person who caused the accident was prosecuted for murder. And this is the case right here, you guys. Let me bring this up. And we did file a $25 million lawsuit concerning the case. And what's happened is we've gotten the case done. The defendant was prosecuted, tried twice, and he has now been sentenced to jail for murder. And we're representing the family members or surviving family members. That's the defendant right there on the left. You can see some of the injuries. In the catastrophic injury case, now that the criminal case is done. Let me come back to StreamYard. So we'll be preparing paperwork relative to this case, and the hearing was set for Friday, but what's happening is everything's being continued. So we're working on that today. That's something that I'm working on today, my front office, virtually. By the way, everyone's working from home right now. And how are we doing that? People go, how are you all working from home and staying organized, right? So one of the ways we're doing that is we're using a system, a service called Clio. And let me bring Clio up. This is pretty cool, you guys. What Clio allows us to do, and this is their website. Let me bring it up a little bit bigger. So what Clio allows you to do is it allows us, and I can't go into the service because all of our cases, all of our client matters, all of our court calendars, all of our tasks, all of the different players, experts, defense attorneys, they're all in this program. But what happens is this service allows us to keep everything regarding our case in the cloud. And I am not a brand ambassador for Clio. I am for many companies. You can go over to streaming.lawyer/brands and see the companies that I'm formally a brand ambassador for, or that I recommend in some type of professional capacity. Clio is just a company, we use their products and services. In fact, I've got an interview coming up next week with the Clio founder, Jack Newton, who wrote a fantastic book about client-centered law firms, creating an exemplary client experience. That's going to be a great interview next Wednesday night. But back to Clio. We use this service, you guys, to all click in and manage our clients' cases, manage the calendars, manage the documents, communicate in real time. Our clients can access their calendars 24/7 from wherever they are, using their laptops, their phones, any other devices. It's really a cool service. And so one of the things we do is we use Clio. Let me say hi to Mark Gawaith. Hey, Mark, it's good to see you. You guys definitely follow Mark on social media. The products and services that he's behind are awesome. So check with Mark and see what he's up to. Hey, Mark, it's good to see you, and it's great chatting earlier today. So we use Clio, you guys, to kind of balance all of these things out. Now, when I mentioned to you, and let me come back to the case that we're handling right now, and let me show you once again. So the case that we're appearing on Friday is the distracted driving wrongful death case involving this family who are our clients. And one of the reasons I'm looking forward to getting this done for them. Hey, Chris, it's good to see you. Yeah, just sharing the day of a trial lawyer, right? What are we doing in a COVID-19 world? And I got to put this up there. Had a nice Instagram live with Chris, got to pop on and say hi. You guys follow Chris and support all the good things that he's doing with nonprofits and with live streaming and social media. It's good to see you, Chris. But here's what I'm getting at, you guys. So we've got this double homicide case that we're wrapping up, but it reminded me to just quickly, and let me just bring this up, you guys. I saw this come up yesterday. Hang on, we're almost there. So most of you probably saw this tragic case that happened on Sunday, on Mother's Day, with Corey LeBerry, who is a YouTube personality who was tragically killed, allegedly in a vehicle while being driven by Daniel Silva. Apparently, Daniel Silva of Ink Master was arrested and is being charged with murder, which is very similar to the case that we will be appearing on this Friday in the Orange County Superior Court. Tragic case. I don't know all the facts. What I do know is, as a matter of fact, let me try to do something. I saw a news broadcast concerning this case, you guys, and I'll probably be, and the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm doing a blog post on this. Okay. In other words, what do we do all day long? Well, Zooms this morning, a couple of meetings online, and then I'll be doing a blog post on this particular case. My blog post will be oriented towards drinking and driving. What are the consequences? You know, when and if something goes wrong, from a civil standpoint, what may or may not happen to Daniel Silva, what may or may not happen to Corey LeBerry's estate. From a criminal standpoint, what charges will Daniel Silva be looking at? I mean, there's a lot going on, right? And so I'll be doing a blog post not pointing fingers at anybody, but just helping raise awareness as to the dangers of drunk driving and distracted driving. Along those same lines, and what I'd like to just try with StreamYard, so bear with me. I'm using StreamYard to put this out, is there's a news broadcast. And let's see if I can bring up the audio on this. I'm not sure if I can, and it's not going to let me play the audio. So my bad, but I'm curious to see if this actually works. Hang on, guys. In StreamYard. So I don't think the audio is playing right now for everyone, but if you want to learn more about what happened in Sunday's accident involving the YouTube celebrity and the Inkstar celebrity, there's a great post on YouTube by ABC News that really does lay out all the details. And I think it's something you guys might want to take a look at. So part of my day today involves doing a blog post on this particular tragic event. And that's the YouTube gentleman that was killed in the accident. So let me come back. So we are going to do a post on that. Something else that came up is, and let me share this really cool company with you. One of the advantages of doing what I do for a living is I get to meet some really interesting people. And this company, Logical, is a company that allows lawyers and companies to keep track of documents and do efficient e-discovery. And it's an amazing, powerful e-discovery software program. And the reason I'm bringing this up is also today on my list is I'm going to be sharing what Logical is doing with different lawyers who I think might benefit from this product. I had a chance to meet the founder yesterday, Adam Wilson, and talk about what his program will do. In fact, let me bring it up real quick. It's pretty cool. So it allows you to monitor the discovery and documentation of litigation needs, human resource needs, public information disclosure needs. This is a pretty amazing cloud-based service, very, very reasonably priced. I believe the price can be passed along as litigation expense to the client. And so what also I'll be doing today, let me come back here, is sharing this company and what Adam's doing with some lawyers and some friends of mine that have some large firms where hopefully they'll be able to tap into the power of this particular platform. It's pretty cool. What else am I going to be doing? I'm also, you guys, keeping track, and as you can probably imagine, I get a lot of incoming communications on all the platforms. I get email, text messages. As a matter of fact, at our website, let me bring it up real quick. I think what's kind of interesting from a lawyer perspective is if you go to our website, and let me just bring it up. What you'll see is in the top left-hand corner, we actually invite people to call or text us. Call or text our 800 toll-free number. So as you can imagine, we get a lot of phone calls each and every day. We get a lot of incoming text messages. Hang on a second. There we go. We get a lot of emails, phone calls, texts, DMs on Twitter, private messages on Facebook, private DMs on Instagram. And so we have all this incoming information coming into the office also through our Clio 24/7 website portal. So how do we keep all of that organized? I'm glad you asked. This is a really cool company. And I am a brand ambassador for this company, but I'm a brand ambassador because this company saves me a lot of time and allows me to stay organized literally on a daily basis. And the company is Agora Pulse. And what Agora Pulse allows us to do, and I can't go into my program, but I can show you their homepage, is it allows me to have all of my incoming messages on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, they all come in to one inbox, one page. So instead of me having to click to all of these platforms to stay on top of who's trying to reach out to me, what are they saying, who should I be responding to? Hang on a second. Who should I be responding to? Who's waiting for feedback? Who's interested in becoming a client in the law firm? I go to one spot, one page, and I manage everything in Agorapulse. And it's a time saver. You know, I also use Agorapulse to schedule my social media. I use Agorapulse to create and share content that I come across, whether it's your blog post or someone else online. I can click a button in Chrome and share it and schedule it or queue it up in Agorapulse. So it saves me a lot of time, both on my laptop, desktop, and on my phone. So what we'll be doing is I'll be using the power, let me come back, of Agorapulse to monitor my social activity throughout the course of the day, to engage with my clients, whether it's a post on Facebook or a private Facebook message. I can access all that from one spot, and it's powerful. It's a really cool platform. And by the way, if you guys are interested in looking into and using any of these platforms, if you go to, and let me bring this up real quick. I am a brand ambassador, like I mentioned, for several of these companies. Let me see, here we go. So if you go to streaming.lawyer/brands and scroll down, you'll see some of the companies that I recommend and that we use. Ruby Receptionist allows us to get our phone calls professionally handled if we're with clients, if we're in court, if we're not in the office because of COVID-19. Ruby Receptionist runs with the ball, and you can just click and access all of the information at all of these sites quickly and easily. All right, assuming you click the right button. So let me come back. And here we go. So let me stop my screen share. So these are the things that I'm doing each and every day as a trial lawyer. There's not enough time in the day to take care of all of these needs. Hey, Nicole Abood, big fan of this young lady right here. Hey, Nicole, it's good to see you. So what I'm doing, Nicole, is I've had some people ask me, like, what are you doing all day long? So we've gone through our meetings today, a big court case we have coming up on Friday that probably isn't going to happen. It's going to be continued. And social media posts regarding the YouTube personality that was tragically killed on Sunday, the Inkstar celebrity that was allegedly behind the wheel, who is being charged with murder. We're doing a blog post on that. And then, you guys, what I'm doing this afternoon is I'm getting ready for a Legal Minds Mastermind meeting. So what is Legal Minds Mastermind? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm going to bring it up and show you, I hope. I'm looking at my list. Hang on a second, you guys. There it is. So Legal Minds is a mastermind that I just enjoy doing, you guys. Let me bring this up. And what it is, it's a mastermind where I show other lawyers and other professionals how to tap into the power of social and digital to help others, to build relationships, and to build their brands. And if you go to legalminds.lawyer, that's legalminds, minds.lawyer, you can see, there's Nicole. Nicole, I didn't even know you were on the front page of Legal Minds. Thank you for the testimonial. You can see what we do in the Legal Minds Mastermind. There's a premium paid version, and there's also a free, but it is private, but a free Facebook group over at legalminds.group. Here's David Merriman Scott at the National Speakers Association convention sharing something on screen that, let's see if this plays in StreamYard. I have no idea, that we were doing that he wanted to share with everyone in the audience. And I think what we were doing is newsjacking back then the Paul Manafort indictment. And without taking a position one way or the other, just sharing that information as to what an indictment is, what people need to be concerned with, and things like that. So in Legal Minds, that is what we do. We have, let me stop screen share. Okay. So what we do is each Tuesday afternoon, 3 o'clock my time here on the West Coast, which is 6 o'clock East Coast, we have a private Zoom live video meeting where we crowdsource ideas, we crowdsource solutions. Today, I'll probably be talking about Ecamm and StreamYard and how you can use these programs to do a live video just like this. This video is being pushed out to Periscope, Twitter, kind of the same thing, but it's being pushed out to both of those platforms, YouTube, several Facebook groups. It's not being pushed out to LinkedIn Live because I don't have a LinkedIn Live account, but I will be taking this and sharing the recorded video over at LinkedIn Live. But if I had LinkedIn Live, it would be pushing to LinkedIn Live. And we're going to be talking today about these platforms, how I'm using them, and I'll be answering questions to hopefully save our members a lot of time with figuring all this stuff out. You guys know I've been on live video and video for about 15 years with video, live video since around 2011, 2012 with Spreecast. And yeah, it's an interesting tool. And I think it's a great way for lawyers and other professionals to show your human side and add value and answer questions, right? So speaking of questions, let me just go ahead and kind of look over in the comments. And what's cool about StreamYard is it's pulling in comments from Facebook, from YouTube, from, let me see, where else? Right now, look, okay, from I think Periscope. And yeah, AgoraPulse is a pretty powerful tool. Just fun side story. Last year, when we did a family trip to Paris, which was awesome, and oh, I have a story to tell you guys about that happened yesterday. After we were done visiting the Louvre, the family went back to the hotel. It was about 3 in the afternoon, and I caught a pedal bike several blocks down the street to the AgoraPulse offices. So I walked down and went in and met the co-founder of AgoraPulse, Emmerich, and some of the members of his team, and got to see how they're set up, which was awesome. And I've always been a big fan of the platform, but it was even more so now that I've had a chance to meet a lot of the players over in Paris. That was fun. So, but here's what I'm getting at. So when we had our trip to Paris last year, we took a trip out to Palace de Versailles, which was awesome if you're ever in Paris. And it's a huge palace outside of the city. And a friend of ours got us in without having to wait in line. It was raining, it was windy, the lines were long. I think it was sold out. But a friend of ours at the hotel we were staying at called her friend and ended up having a guide meet us and escorting us in, right? And we talked. I remember giving her one of my business cards. If there's anything I can do, let me know. And what's pretty cool is yesterday, her sister reached out. Her sister lives on the East Coast and just finished law school and has some questions about next steps. And so I was able to get to meet her, which was awesome, through the internet, through a phone call, give a few suggestions, answer a few questions, and actually get her set up with a friend of mine to help with something that she's been thinking about doing. And so between yesterday and today, I think that pretty accurately reflects like what a typical day is in the life of a trial lawyer in today's COVID-19 world. Everything's shut down. Let me come back to here. You know, everything's shut down. The courthouses are pretty much shut down. So what we're doing is we're working on taking care of our existing clients, our existing files. We're using the platforms I just shared to stay on top of our workload, to make sure the clients understand that there's nothing that they need to worry about with respect to their case. We're also using this opportunity to build out new platforms. You guys want to see one new platform we built out? This was week 1 of social distancing when the courts shut down. And let me show you real quick. Hang on a second. I think you're going to like this. I'm sharing my screen one more time. I'm going to share the Legal Minds Mastermind. Let me come back to StreamYard. All right, so this is the Legal Minds Mastermind, right, that I talked to you guys about. So if you want to know and learn to do what we're doing, connect with us over at legalminds.lawyer. But having said that, see if I clicked in the right URL. Yes, legal live video mediation. So it did come up. All right, so here's the thing. What this is, you guys, is when everything shut down, the private mediation companies that lawyers use to help mediate and resolve cases before trial. And we use these services all the time. They're really powerful services. Couldn't do it anymore, right? Because of social distancing. And I agree with that. That's fine. But what we went ahead and did that first weekend is we set up a live video version of this service for all of the lawyers in California. So lawyers that want to mediate and arbitrate their case can now do so using live video with me being the mediator. I bring 34 years of trial lawyer and settlement and mediation experience to the table. And I do enjoy doing traditional offline mediations, but now we can do this using services like Zoom. And it's pretty cool. And so if you want to learn more, go to mediationlawyer.live. That's where all the services are laid out, mediationlawyer.live. This took us an afternoon to set up, and it's been pretty popular. And the reason I'm bringing it up, let me stop sharing my screen, is because if you have a product or service that you can no longer provide, because of social distancing, because of work from home requirements, whatever it might be, give some thought to how can I bring a digital version of that product or services, onto the digital platforms using live video, for example. Is there something else you can do, whether it's consulting or paid consulting, whether it's doing a show like this and answering a cooking question each day, whatever it might be? Think about how you can pivot and be proactive and take your product or service or create a new product or service and take it online. We did that in the first weekend, and it took a little bit of work, took a little bit of effort, but it was something that I'm really glad that we did for a number of different reasons. Primarily to give lawyers the ability, who somebody may be trying to settle a case for this number, the other side's at this number, and we're able to live video mediate the settlement to get down to that magic number. And when it's all said and done, the case is done, the client's happy, and nobody needs to worry about the closed courthouses that I talked to you about at the beginning of today's show. So I love comments like this. So I don't necessarily think it was genius. What I was trying to do is satisfy a need, right? And all my friends were complaining about not having a mediation service available because of social distancing requirements, and everything was shut down in California. So we rolled out the live video service, and it works really well. So give some thought to all of this, but that's basically the day in a trial lawyer in the COVID-19 world, right? Meetings on Zoom, a lot of phone calls, a lot of incoming messages and outgoing messages. I use Agorapulse for that. Monitoring our client cases, giving clients access 24/7 to their documents, their calendars, private chat messages with us using Clio, CLIO. It's creating content like this, whether we're using Ecamm, Zoom, StreamYard, or just broadcasting live directly to Facebook or YouTube or Instagram Live, like I did yesterday with Chris. It's taking advantage of whatever additional time you have to continue building relationships and to continue trying to add value. And for the lawyers out there, answering questions, right? Answering questions and just trying to give and give and give some more. But I do know a lot of you were asking me, like, what are you doing all day long? And so hopefully that's a snapshot of exactly what's happening throughout the course of my day, each and every day. And we've been busy. It's been kind of hectic at times. And I am especially privileged to be able to help people hopefully resolve their legal challenges based upon what we've done in the past, based upon 34 years of helping thousands and thousands of clients, of trying and mediating and arbitrating hundreds of cases. I've tried about 70 cases to verdict. The average in California is about 3 cases, I believe. So we've tried about 70 cases to verdict. I believe, and don't hold me to this, but I believe we have won all of our cases except, I think it's 3. So I think we're like 67-3, something like that, 66-4. So I'm pretty proud of our litigation record. And but when we're not litigating, this is what we're doing. So I hope you guys found this interesting. Let me just check comments coming in from different platforms. And I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Listen, if you guys are interested in staying in touch, join me in Legal Minds, okay, legalminds.lawyer. Join me on my free Wednesday night lawyer marketing show. It's Wednesday night legal marketing. Let me show you using StreamYard. Let's see if I've got it here. Ooh, this is kind of cool. Check this out. Wednesday night legal marketing.live. Okay. And I'm bringing in guests to help lawyers build relationships and correctly market their practices, especially in today's world. And right now, kind of focused around virtual presentations, live video. So this Wednesday, I've got Brian Fanzo joining me. And Brian is a very high in-demand keynote speaker. He's a technology, relationship, business entrepreneur, millennial. I think he calls himself the page-carrying millennial. And he's an amazing, interesting human being who shares massive value when it comes to presenting and sharing your message, whether it's on a Zoom to one person or you're doing a presentation like this, to 10,000 people around the world. Brian's going to share different techniques, different services, different platforms that you can use to make your presentations more memorable, more impactful, and when all said and done, empower your audience to take a desired course of action. So that's tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Hey, Owen. So that's tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, and it's perfect time for a show, right? Halfway through the week, grab a glass of wine and join me. And speaking of other amazing human beings that are doing really cool things, especially on the digital platforms, Owen Hemstath, follow Owen right there. Let me see, Owen, my video's kind of messed up. You know all about that as far as mirrors. But Owen's a video and live video expert who will show you how to tap into the power of video and live video, especially when it comes to business, and taking something like what I'm doing right now, throwing some spit and polish on it and making it 10 times better. So Owen, I'm glad you stopped by. I'm sorry for the poor performance, but I am working on it. And so anyway, you guys follow Owen and all the things that he's doing because he's doing good stuff. All right, you guys. So that's the day of a trial lawyer from start to finish. After Legal Minds this evening, I'm going to head downstairs, get an hour on the stair stepper, and then call it a day. So if you guys want to reach out, please do. If you have any questions, please do. If you're thinking about being a lawyer and you want to know what it's really like, message me on any of the platforms we talked about, and I'll give you honest answers. I'll let you know exactly what I think. But between now and Legal Minds this afternoon or Wednesday night legalmarketing.live, Wednesday night, you guys take care, be safe, and do your best to try to make each day a masterpiece. All right, you guys, take care. Bye-bye.